everyone. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for coming to another craft night with friends. We are working on the Aurifill block of the month, sewing the rows of our quilt top together. I think we're going to have an actual quilt top by the end of the week. I think we're going to have it by tomorrow, actually. So, moving this project right along. I'm excited. So, all right, let's get going. All right, so thanks again, everyone, for joining me. We are continuing on this guy today, so let's get right into it. So yesterday we sewed rows 3 and 4 together and 1 and 2, so we'll sew those together at some point here, but we're still sewing individual rows to each other here first. So let's get row 5 and row 6. And then we got 7, 8, and 9 left over here, so we'll have to work on those yet. I think I'm going to actually do row 9 onto 8 first, because then I can do row 8 and 9. I could do 7 as well, but I'm going to do 8 and 9, and then I'll do 6 and 5, and then I'll come back and do the 7 to the 8, and then we can start sewing some of these beginning rows together. So I think we're going to get a little mixed up tonight, but I think it's going to work, and because all these are labeled, that's what's going to help out. So, all right, so 9 is going to go to the bottom of 8. So we are just clipping the all the like seam points together on these. Trying to get a little bit smarter on this so I can keep everything on the machine and keep sewing. All right, let's unfold this guy. All right, match those seams. So I'm just going to go down the edge like what we did last night and pin all of these fellers together, and that's going to be the bulk of the work. I'm hoping we can maybe finish sewing. Well, we'll finish sewing all these little rows together. Maybe we can get the big row too. Ooh, unless we run out of bobbin thread, we may need to stop and wind some bobbin. We'll have to see how that goes. Although we just switched the bobbin, but there wasn't a ton on there, and sewing all these super long rows, you run out of bobbin quickly. All right, keep it on down the edge, matching up all the seams. And then these long ones, I'm putting another one in the center too, just because they're floppy. It's feeling good though, getting this farther. I feel like I'm on the second half of the project at least. So I hope everyone had a lovely day today. Jenna and I were at the warehouse again today. It was, it's like 25 degrees colder or something. It's like way chillier than it was yesterday, so, and less humid. So within, I think, a day, we lost like 20 degrees and like 20 humidity points too, or whatever. So it was much nicer. I do kind of like it when it's warm, but it's nice to have like these cooler days peppered in with them. But I think tomorrow we're supposed to have like 50s. So tomorrow is super chilly, and I think it's gonna rain too. So it's a stay in and get stuff done day. Alright. Alright, here's our first seam. Our first seams nested together. Oh, Lenore, hello from Kenosha. Oh, 85 this afternoon, now 65. Okay, yeah, so that's basically how it was for us. It started out a little bit nicer. Not that warm. We had that temperature yesterday, though. So you have like a split day. I had the full day of the 85 and the a full day of like the 65, and you had your day split in half, which makes sense. You guys usually get everything like a day later than we do here in Minneapolis. Or so it seems. Oop, get tucked under there. Oop, went a little far. So I haven't been worried about too much about getting these like points just right, but I am kind of keeping my eye on them a little bit. Like where these seams meet is where my 1/4 inch should go through, and I think we'll get close. So I'm just not worrying too much about it. Coming to the end here. Just gonna try and match up these ends, but let's get it on my flat surface first. There we go. All right, let's get a leader in there. Let's take a look. I think we can, well, I probably could have just started the next one, but I have been kind of taking them off the machine. They just get so bulky. So I like getting them out of the way a little bit. All right, let's see how that one looks. So this is 8 and 9. So this is actually the bottom of the quilt here. All the seams look like they're lining up nice, and our point looks pretty nice too. Oh, there's that little snowball block. Fun! All right, so now I'm going to, well, this isn't, you know, the order that I changed things up, that really only matters if I kept sewing. But I didn't, so I don't know. Let's just put number 7 on this one right away. my concept was right, but I'm not doing that way. So what I was trying to plan for was to not use a leader and just keep sewing, but I've been taking them off just because it's big and bulky, so I don't need to like come up with a plan on the order of sewing. So we're just going out of order now. So here's 7, 8, 9, and I'm just doing I'm just having it upside down so I can just deal with the small piece right here on the edge easier. Okay. So we just kind of skipped over 5 and 6, so we got to come back to those. We'll get it. Up these guys. So this seems like gotta stretch it quite a bit so it doesn't bubble up. So I'll have to note that when we sew to kind of pull a little bit. Feels good just to be sitting and playing with fabric this evening. And it's just not nearly as humid anymore, so I just feel like I can kind of relax into it a little bit more. The gray square here, you like, Lenore? Yeah, I really like that one too. Alright, last clip. Alright, I'm gonna get that glove on again and let's sew, what is this? 7, row 7 to row 8. Getting to the bulkiness. All the bulky fabric together. Ooh, that's grabbing funny. Let's try that again. There we go. Ooh, I learned, here's the random thing I learned today. I call this my TikTok education that I watch over lunch. I watch the TikTok. So I learned that to make coffee a little less bitter, and this actually works a little bit better if you have like some stale coffee that you're using, to put a little bit of table salt in, and it will make the coffee taste better. So I might try that tomorrow morning. Just put a tiny little bit of salt in my coffee. All right, so that's the more you know for the day. Learning all about all the coffee tricks on TikTok lately. We like doing a French press in the morning, or I like doing that. I have a whole morning routine. So I get the water heating up while I do the dishes, and then the water kettle beeps, and then I can make the coffee, and I can finish the dishes basically by the time the coffee has steeped. But so with a French press or like a pour over or that sort of thing, you want to put a little the hot water in just to cover the grounds first and let it sit for 30 seconds, and all the like carbon dioxide and stuff will bubble out of it. So it's called like blooming, I think. So you want to bloom your coffee first for 30 seconds. You can actually see it like become kind of dome shaped, the grounds, after you do that, and then you can pour the rest of the hot water in there. That's my other TikTok tip for coffee. Oh, Carol says I always salt my coffee at restaurants. Oh, you know, that's a great idea, because restaurant coffee is always kind of icky a lot of times. So yeah, some salt in there, that'd be awesome. Oh, oh yay, Jenna! Jenna says that she's just popping in. She put together her stiletto tonight. Yeah, I talked about, Jenna showed me at the office yesterday the most beautiful beads for to make a stiletto, like one of these guys here. She found a flat bead that she had been holding on to, and thought it'd be perfect for making a stiletto. So yay! I can't wait to see it. Yeah, it's just so pretty. Alright, last bit. But man, a stiletto like is super helping me hold the seams down if they want to flip up, and then just like I always like holding the end of the row here just to kind of act as a pin to hold things together. Ooh, my seam allowances are crazy tonight. I think they're a little large, I think, here and there. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm still going to take these off the machine. I was thinking, oh, now I could just sew the next row on, but I like not having this bulk everywhere, so who cares? I'm doing a little leader at the end of this and taking it off the machine. I'm trading efficient sewing for a clean space. So that's what I'm feeling like I'm needing tonight, so that's how we're doing it. All right, so this is 7, 8, 9. Hey, why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Oh, man. Gonna be one of those nights tonight. Ooh, I forgot about this one. That one's pretty. All right, so rows are coming together. This guy's actually all the big blocks here are fully framed now, so that's fun. So I mean, we're making the whole thing crazy. So each individual block just is part of the rest of the color and the fun. I mean, you could say that, oh, we're losing the block within all the colors, like I'm not showcasing the blocks anymore, which is kind of exactly what I'm doing. I am not showcasing the blocks. Instead, I'm taking lots of blocks that were very different and trying to meld it into the same quilt. And I'm doing that by making the whole thing like bright and colorful and busy. And then you'll see up close, you know, when you're laying with the quilt, you'll be able to see all the details and all the interesting aspects of each block, and even like these littler ones too. So the idea is, first glance, I'm going to fold this. First glance, it is just a bright, blocky quilt, and then at second glance, once you are with the quilt for a while, then you realize, oh wow, there's a lot of stuff happening and going on here. Okay, so that's 7, 8, 9. So we got to come back to 5 and 6 since I did not do that. But yeah, so then, but after I do this, then we just have to sew these two rows together, sew these two rows together, and then sew those conglomerates together. So we just have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 seams left to do in the top of this quilt. Oh, that is exciting! Yay! Okay, just 4 seams left. We can do it. I don't know if we can do it all tonight, but we'll try. All right. So starting here, 5. Wait a sec. What numbers are we? 5, 6. Oh, so this is on the top. Almost had a disaster there. I thought it was feeling different. I'm like, why is this upright? There we go. 5, 6. We would have had to get the seam ripper out if I accidentally sewed it on the bottom there. So I'm glad that didn't happen. Okay. Ooh, wow, that's a little bit of a stretch to get to the end here. Feel very uncoordinated with my clips today for some reason, or at least right now. I love a scrappy looking quilt too, Sally. For sure. I mean, fancy quilts are awfully nice too. But, there's something just warm and inviting about a scrappy quilt. Or a scrappy seeming quilt, I suppose. This is the opposite of a scrappy quilt in reality, since every single one of these blocks I was picking fresh fat quarters for each one, a different set, so I never repeated fat quarters within the block. But now it's scrappy by using up all of those fat quarters that we used for the rest of it by making the sashing and the rest of it. So it definitely has a scrappy feel to it, just because we are using a lot of different stuff and reusing things at this point too. Scrappy look, but I suppose anything but. To me, I guess it's scrappy in my brain a little bit too, because for me, like, a scrappy quilt feels like, oh, I'm using up stuff I have, I'm recycling, you know? I'm finally using it. And that's kind of how I feel about these fat quarters. Yes, they were fresh, new fat quarters, but I've collected them for a while. They've been sitting in a bin. So now I'm finally broke them out and used them in a project. So I feel like I'm recycling because I'm just using stuff that I had. I didn't like go buy fresh fabric for this. So in a sense, I think that rates it as scrappy, using what I got. Yep, okay, I'm changing my mind. It's totally scrappy. All right. Getting the glove on. Oh, my little paper numbers are getting in my way, but I don't want to lose those yet. Ooh, but I suppose I can lose them soon once we get all these rows together. Won't need those anymore. And then I'll be able to return my mom's wonder clips too. I bet she's just been missing them so much. Ooh, something feels funny. Oh, I'm just touching a seam. It felt like I had a bunch of fabric folded up beneath me, but I didn't. This feels awfully bulky here too. Oh, yeah, it is because I folded over there. Okay. Get those back together. Ooh, I'm remembering that I have to put new grippies at the bottom of my machine. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna floor it. I didn't quite floor it, but whenever I go too fast, my machine starts shifting, because I have to clean up the grips at the bottom. I'm gonna have to do that as part of my cleaning session of this. Maybe we do that later this week if we get this done. Or if we get this done tonight, maybe that's what we'll do tomorrow. That'd be kind of fun. It'd be time. We could get the other machine out too. I think I just, did I just oil that one? I'm not sure. But the other machine we could get out and take a look at that part that I don't know why it's the presser foot, why it's staying down. Or the feed dogs, I mean. And let's get this off of the machine. Ugh, come on, I'm trying to grab a piece here. Alright, I'm almost out of these little white pieces. It's probably time to work on this leader and ender quilt some more too. Oh, I did talk about turning that leader and ender thing into a chore coat, like one of those quilted coats. Still think that's a good idea, but I got a long way to go to have enough fabric for all that, so I'm not worried about keeping on making my little squares here. All right, what do we got? 5 and 6. Looking cute. I really like that one. Fun. All right. I think it's really looking nice. So this is why I wanted to make sure that gray was in each one of these smaller ones and prominently, or at least, you know, so it touches the other blocks, because you can kind of see we have the grays in here and the grays in here. So the gray pieces will kind of be checkerboarded throughout here, while these sashings are like pure and bright. Okay, so 5, 6. I got 7, 8, 9 right here. So I'm gonna flip this over the top, so I get the end of this one. So this row, this edge has got to go to this edge. So I'm gonna flip this up. And now we're dealing with crazy bulk. All right. So, again, we're just going down the row and clipping all of the matching seams together. That's the deal. Okay. Down to 3 more seams. feel like I'm having to pay attention to nesting these seams a little bit more than usual just because the fabrics are all different widths and stuff. It's hard to just feel those seams kind of lock together. Wow, now this one is not. This seems like a flat piece here, and this is a flat piece here, but man, they are not fitting together well. So hopefully it goes okay. All right, we got it. Ugh, it's getting to be big. Ugh, I definitely want the glove on for this. Now we're dealing with a lot of bulk. It gets heavy, it wants to slide off the table. These long pieces are going to be tricky with all the bulk because I want the edges to stay aligned, but they're going to want to pull and push all over the place. It's fun sewing those long little bits though. Just gonna press the pedal and let it fly. Ha, exactly. It's the bagging bottom. The bottom wants to like kind of go out and yeah, it gets baggy. That's funny. Oh man, Colleen's asking what's up my sleeve for this holiday weekend. I will be working on finishing the website. So we are getting so close to launching the new Penguin and Fish website. With some fun new products. I don't know if you guys saw this afternoon. We posted a little pic, Jenna and me in the warehouse. We have new boxes, and it's just our shipment of boxes came in. We have new packaging for the kits, for some of the new kits. And I'm just really excited to share that with you guys soon. We will be doing the final kind of touches on the website this weekend. And some videos, actually, too. So, you know, it's like all my other weekends. It's basically a work weekend. But John's parents are coming into town on Saturday. They're staying overnight in town on Saturday, and then they'll be going back on Sunday, just back to Wisconsin in a couple hours. So that'll be nice. We'll get to see them. I think they wanted to get some shopping done in the cities. I hope it's nice out. It'd be awesome to have like a campfire or something like that. Or maybe do some outside work a little bit. Okay, one big set of rows together. Ooh, let's peek at it, see half of a quilt done. So this is the bottom of the quilt. Yep. Oop. I was trying to avoid hitting the camera there, but fun. Okay, it's kind of hard to see here. I'll hold it up. I'll hold it up when we're done here. So this is the bottom half. All right, so I'm gonna just kind of shush this. I'm not even gonna fold it. We're just gonna shush it out of the way, make enough room for the top half here. And let's get that sewn. So all right, we have 3 and 4. Oh, and 1 and 2. So 1, 2. Let's open that up. That one's fun. So pretty colors. Okay, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and then this one I'm gonna flip. Okay, let me just double check. 3, 4. Yep. So I'm gonna flip these up so they're together here. There we go. Let's match some seams. Some of these little outer blocks are really kind of wonky. This edge is kind of all over the place, but that's okay. That's the name of the game now. Everything will get sewn enough together. Gets floppier and more annoying as your piece gets bigger. We just gotta slow down. I just need some patience, that's all I need. Just trying to kitty scratch it in place. I feel like I haven't talked about kitty scratching in a while. That's just when I want the edges of fabric to be a little bit closer. Like I don't want to lift up the whole fabric and put it down, but if you just scratch the top, it'll kind of line up the edges a little bit more. And I call it kitty scratching because if you like scratch the head of a little kitty cat or the neck of a kitty cat, it's kind of like that. You're just giving it a little scratch. A little kitty scratch to move it in place. That's true, Sylvia. Sylvia says patience is easier said than done. That's true. I feel like making a quilt in general is an exercise in patience. Exercise in one step at a time. Then you end up with something. Okay, we are clipped. So again, this is the top 4 rows, so 1 through 4. We've already finished 5 through 9. So, I lost the seam. Here we go. So we do this and then the one more seam, and then we're done. Well, done with the top. Done with this step. How about that? Like I said, quilting is an exercise in patience. Making a quilt. That's why I like embroidery. You can get it done real quick. At least some of these little embroidery guys. Get that underneath there. Just look how big the seam allowances were there. Oh, I think I just hand cut those off. Those were half square triangle pieces, I think. Uh-oh. And there it is. Oh no! How long ago was this? Look at... So we lost bobbin. Oh, about a foot ago. Even more than a foot. Boo! Alright. Well, let's come back to that. We are going to have to wind some bobbin now. So let's see how that goes on this machine. Here, I'll tilt you guys up so we can take a look at it. That was my last partially wound bobbin. All right, I'm going to back up for a sec here. Okay, so we have the bobbin area right here. So I have not quite figured this out yet. The bobbin clips onto here, and it just clips on just by pushing it in. It's like a cone shape, so like it kind of locks in as you push. I did put a little silicone disc on, like one of those silicone rubber bands on here, so that's what this white part is on the wheel. So now to activate it, I push it up against the wheel, and all it is this wheel is, well, actually the motor will be turning the little wheels in the back, and the little wheel will be moving this wheel, and then this wheel moves this wheel, which will wind the bobbin. I'm going to unscrew the side of the wheel, and that should make my foot not hop up and down, is the theory. But what I have not figured out very well with this is how to get it not to break. So there's something, I'm not doing something quite right here, and I suspect it's where I'm putting it on up here, but I don't know. So now we go down, clip into there, or maybe it's just too rough here. I don't know. I'm actually going to take this off again and go in one of these little holes here. So I'm going to get as much bobbin on here as I can before it inevitably will break on me. But let's see how we do. Ooh, it's actually looking pretty good. Ooh, I might get a real actual full bobbin here. Maybe you guys are my lucky charm for this. I'm holding the spool down with my finger up here because it's wanting to fly around a little bit. Alright, I think I'm going to stop it right there, but hello, that is a nice looking bobbin. I think I might wind one more while I'm here. So I do have this like weird diagonal thing that's happening, which isn't great, but it's still going to totally work. So alright, I am going to plop that down, and while I have this all set up, it'd be silly of me not to do one more, so we're going to do that. Okay, this is making me feel great though. And now with these silicone bands, these little rubber bands that I put on my wheels, it's not, before when I was doing the bobbin on here, the big wheel would go so much that it would polish basically the back wheel, and then the machine would keep slipping. Oops. The thread wouldn't start up right away. I'm gonna just kind of put this in here. Uh-oh. See, there we go. I think that was my fault though this time. So I broke that bobbin. I didn't break it, but I accidentally caught the thread on something. So that's a half bobbin, but that's good. I'm gonna do one more here, just to see if I can get one more good one. I'm actually kind of using up quite a bit of the top thread, but that's fine too. Well, I think because of this, we will we'll finish that seam that I was working on, but we'll finish that last seam tomorrow, and then we'll iron the whole thing tomorrow too. That's great. I think what I did with the second one, I literally I was trying to push something on top of my spool just so I didn't have to keep my hand on there. And it got caught, and I think that broke the thread. But we got two very good looking ones here, so that makes me super duper happy. We are loaded up with bobbin again. So now all I have to do is push that back down, so now that wheel's not spinning anymore because it's not attached to this wheel. Like, it's so mechanical. Like, it's because this wheel is moving this wheel. So I just move it out of the way. Let's tighten up that side wheel again. And I need to, let's come over here and I'll rethread the top quick. Okay. Now would have been a good time to brush all the fuzz off, but we'll do this. We'll finish these seams and then and press, and then I think the rest of tomorrow or Friday we're gonna just take a look at all of this and clean it up, wipe it down. We'll have a little cleaning session of of the sewing machine. Alright, get that underneath. And now we can put the bobbin back in place. This bobbin, this bobbin, the thread I have come over the top towards me. My other bobbin, it has to go away from me when I put it in the case here. Okay, we're good. Plop it in the side. Go forward with the machine a little just to grab that bottom bobbin thread. A little more. There we go. Now I can pull it up. Alright, we're back in business. Now I gotta crawl up the side of the quilt that I was sewing on for a foot and a half without knowing it. All right, let's try this again now. Okay, get the glove back on. I'm gonna just wing it, I think. I don't want to put my clips back. I am going to back tack right here again, though. Just to kind of lock this in place here. So just forward and backwards for a bit. I went about an inch or so up along the seam. You know what? I am going to clip this. So I'm just going to clip these two together. And maybe I'll clip the next two together. Yeah, we'll do that one too. I'm here doing it. Let's just do it. There. Okay, we are back. Ha, Patty, me too. Patty says, glad you noticed before you got to the end. I sure am too. Still, a good, like, foot and a half I didn't notice, which is annoying. Alright, seems to be sewing perfectly fine. That means everything's in. Assembled back together just fine too. Oh man, yeah, I sewed all the way up to here. Ugh. About to push the rest of the quilt off the end of the table, so let's readjust here a little. Almost done with this. Bottom's getting baggy here again. There. this one's all over the place. Let's try and balance that out. All right, we did it. Let's check it out. All right, again, this is the bottom half. Here is the top half. Oh, we are sideways. Here we go. Fun! It is a bright and crazy quilt. I think I'm really gonna like it though. It's just so all over the place. I like it. We are totally blending in these blocks to the rest of them, but then, you know, you realize there's a lot going on still. I love it. Okay, so this is the top. We have the bottom here, so we just have these 2 rows to sew together. We will do that tomorrow, and then we will press the whole thing. And then I think we'll clean up the machine a little bit. It's time. All right, you guys. So this has it's gone fairly well. I mean, we did have to change the bobbin here, but like this is what we're looking at. So this is the top half here. Ooh, let me try and get back a little farther. There. You can kind of see it a little bit. We will definitely I'll definitely have to take a photo of it. Let me show you the back half, or the bottom half. Seven, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Then here's the bottom half here. Oh, I think it's going to be so fun. Yeah, it is going to be bright and fun. Okay, I'm liking how it's turning out. It was a question mark. When we were laying it out, I'm like, oh man, this is going to be just crazy busy. Maybe it's not a good idea, I don't know. But it is still crazy busy, but I kind of like it now. So I'm excited about it. Fun! All right, you guys, so finished quilt top tomorrow, that one last seam with a fresh bobbin, and then we'll press it all nice. And I'll try and take a photo of it sometime during the day on Friday so I can post it. And yeah, then we'll be on to the back, which is important too. All right, so thanks everyone for joining me again tonight. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your evening here, and I'll see you on Thursday. Have a good evening. Good night.